Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. I thought I would do a unboxing video. I got 3 boxes I will unbox for you guys. A couple people said the other day they would like to see me do a video on Halloween. So here I am. Hopefully you guys are ready to go have some fun, and hopefully it will be some safe fun. So, always be careful if you go out partying tonight, drinking. There are going to be some crazy people out there at night, so please be careful. Make sure you check your kids' candy and don't eat all your kids' candy because they won't like you if you do that. With that being said, let's do a shout out to my paid Patreon members. Shout out, as you can see, you can get your name up on here. So shout out to everybody that you see listed. Please go give them a follow or a like, especially the last ones at the bottom where you could see YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Go check them out. Say We Love Comics sent you. If you want to support my channel and definitely helping support the animals that I take care of, all the stray animals, you can go to patreon.com/We Love Comics. You'll get your name up on this board, shouted out every single video, and early access to any of my future and upcoming auctions where you get the ability to see the books before anybody else does. So you can make an offer on any of them before anybody else even sees the light of day for those books. So especially if you order from me in previous times in my auctions, going to patreon.com/Lilo Comics and becoming a Patreon member, no matter whatever dollar amount you put in, you will be able to have that early access. So it will definitely help keep you from missing the auction, getting into a bidding war and spending more than you wanted to, or getting outbid and missing it completely. So if we get to 20 paid members in any given month, I got some giveaways. You can pause that to see. You'll get one entry for every $2 that you contribute. So the more you contribute, the more chances. I will ship these prizes all around the world. So don't think it has to be restricted to people living in the United States. And I will pay for the shipping. So we got Brian Norman here, says hello. Good to see you. Happy Halloween. And I got a little survey that I put up there. Something new if you want to put your little thing in there. I said, will you be dressing up for Halloween today? So you could put either yes or no. And if you want in the comment section, if you are, what kind of costume you'll be wearing. By all means, share it with the audience. Let's put on the video camera. So I got 4 random quote unquote boxes, even though none of these are technically a box. And as usual, I will share any information about the book that I am aware of, the price I paid, which includes shipping and handling, taxes, and all that other fun stuff. Because if you're only talking about part of the price, you have to include all the costs in what you paid for it. So if you paid $100 for a book and there's $10 in taxes and $10 in shipping, you didn't spend $100 for the book. And I'm one of the few YouTube channels that actually will take the time to share every time the full amount of what I buy these books for, because I like to help people getting ideas that deals are always out there. If you've never seen my videos, you'll see constantly that I have videos and I share all the prices and everything, and I tell you how I do it. I have a video that gives all my trade secrets away. You don't have to join my Patreon to get any information. Anyone joining my Patreon is just to help to support the channel and all that I do. But I do not believe in charging for helpful information because I want to succeed, but I want you guys and gals to succeed as well. Whether you are willing to take the advice and apply it, that is up to you, but at least you have the option. Brian says, Church the Cat is doing great. Good to hear. You were telling me about that stray. Bought him a fresh supply of food. They had them for around 50 cents a can. Hey, you can't go wrong when they're on sale. Joey Lane is here. Says, hey, Chris, how's it going? Excited to see what you scooped up this time. Good to see you. Happy Halloween. Brian Norman says, incredibly, the ones that I've been buying him from Walmart, they ran out of, and they had to mail them to me. Hey, that's fine. As long as you can get it, that's all that matters. And Constipated in Sin City says, hey, Chris. All right. Now, this book I've had many of over the years. I remember buying these on the actual, I bought them at 7-Eleven, and I was really, at first, well, I'll show the book first. So we got Amazing Spider-Man, number 312. This is the Todd McFarlane run. At first, I did not like Todd McFarlane's version of Spider-Man. I didn't like the big eyes that he did, because I was kind of like a John Romita type of styled Amazing Spider-Man fan, and his was just so different from what Spider-Man was used to. At first, I didn't like it, but after I started seeing more and more covers, like these, for example, the detail and everything, I just thought it was great to have. Now you could see it is also a newsstand variant, and those of you that follow me and watch my videos, put in the comment section whether you're watching this. If you're watching it live, put it in the live chat. And if you're watching this later, put it in the comment section. What else do you think this book would be? So we got Captain Crunches here says, hi, Chris and peeps. Silverite Surfer underscore comics, one of my moderators and one of my Patreon members says, hey, Chris, happy Halloween to both of you. So nothing majorly significant about this book, other than the fact that it's Green Goblin versus Hobgoblin. It is the Todd McFarlane run of Amazing Spider-Man. It is a newsstand variant. So let's see who watches my videos and who doesn't. What else do you think this book is besides just the newsstand variant? Because a newsstand variant is about roughly between 10 and 15% of a total print run. Joey Lane is the first to respond to that. Let's see if he's correct. And actually, let's see if the book is correct. Brian knew it as well, and you guys are right. So it is a Mark Jewelers variant. I absolutely love collecting these. These are only sold on military bases and stores around the military bases. This is a nice condition book. I would say I'm going to change the bag and board, obviously, because it's an old bag and board. But this looks like at least a 9.4 and possibly higher. So a Mark Jewelers variant. So before I do the price, if you had the ability to see this book and there was an auction, what would you have paid for this book? Because remember, a Mark Jewelers variant is only between 5 and 7% of a total print run. So they are not rare, but they are rarer, especially in higher grades. So when you're talking, like I said, this looks like it's at least 9.2, 9.4, could be potentially higher than that, but I don't want to assume 9.8s or anything like that. But I don't see any color break increases or anything. And I thought there was a bend, but that's actually just a wrinkle in the bag. So let's just assume this is between a 9.2 and a 9.4 if you got it pressed, dry cleaned, and graded. If you saw this book on eBay and you saw the auction was ending, what would be the highest you would have bought? Amazing Spider-Man 312, Todd McFarlane cover, newsstand variant with the Mark Jewelers. Put in the comment section if you're watching this later. Put it in the live chat if you're watching it live. What would have been the most you would have paid for this book and been happy? So Silver Age Surfer says $321.59. Boy, you're definitely doing the prices right route. So you're trying to get to the exact dollar. That's an interesting one. So is that a serious amount that you would pay for it? Because that's an interesting number. So Silver Age Surfer underscore comics allegedly would pay $321.59. So I'm assuming that's with shipping and handling and with taxes. So let's see. Max would it be? Okay. What would be the lowest price you would have said, I got this for a really good price? So Silver Age Surfer or anybody else? 330. Okay. So you would have been happy with, well, that's actually higher than what you said, 329. I think Silver Age Surfer has started with the Halloween punch a little bit earlier today. So be careful driving. But what would be the lowest amount if you were bidding on this and there was a bidding war and it was an auction that was going to end? What would you be happy with if you got it and you would have considered it a deal? So Silver Age Surfer said $180. So I'd love to hear what anybody else thinks. But I'm going to show you the deals that I get. I didn't pay $300 for this book. I didn't pay $200 for this book. I didn't pay $150 for this book. I didn't pay $100 for this book. I didn't even spend $50 on this book. I got this book all in, shipping and handling and eBay taxes for Amazing Spider-Man 312, newsstand Mark Jewelers variant in high grade. Like I said, it's going to be over a 9.0, in my opinion, for a grand total of $44.93. So again, it doesn't have any major events in it or anything. It's not a first appearance of Venom or anything like that. But to get this for under $50 in a newsstand only would have been a good price for this book, because the Todd McFarlane run gets pretty high up there, especially when you're talking higher grade. I got this for $44.93, Mark Jewelers variant. Deals are always out there, ladies and gentlemen. You just got to put in the effort. Like I say all the time, I don't do this stuff to kind of brag or make people feel bad or anything. I'm trying to show people again and again and again that if you know what you're looking for, if you know what are deals, if you can make deals with people, if you're up sometimes even late at night, you can find deals that most people would never be able to think would even be possible. Because like you said, like you see here, people were willing to spend anywhere between $200 and $300 for that book. I got it for under 50. So they're out there. So Captain Crunch says, wow, so he agrees that's a good deal. Brian says a steal. Silver Age Surfer says, iconic cover with an MJ insert is awesome. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people. The deals are out there. And I could easily keep this information to myself, but I like sharing it with you guys because I can't find every deal. I mean, I can't be up 24 hours, 7 days a week. That means there'll be plenty of time for all you guys to be able to acquire these. Captain Crunch says, now you can sell it to Silver Surfer for 330. Well, before I would sell any book, I always get them graded anyway. So this way people don't have to guess what a grade is. They'll know what a grade is. So any books that I am going to sell, I make sure I get graded first. And just imagine if that book comes back a 9.4, a 9.6, or dare I say a 9.8. Now you're talking, if that ever came back as a 9.8, you're talking $3,000-$4,000. I'm not really sure what a 9.8 of that would be in a Mark Jewelers. I don't even know if there's even one that has been sold or for sale. So if anybody wants to look, Amazing Spider-Man 312, look up a 9.8 Mark Jewelers and see if anybody's either selling one or sold one to see what the price is. But I would assume it would probably be between $2,000 and $4,000 for a 9.8. But it always goes by what somebody's willing to pay for something, not what somebody's willing to sell something for. Because you could sell a pencil for $1 million. Unless somebody has $1 million to waste on a pencil, no one's going to get it. Silver Age Surfer underscore comic says, like having Hulk 340 with an MJ insert, no significance, but an iconic McFarlane cover. Yes, but I would say Hulk 340 is definitely going to be more desirable than the Amazing Spider-Man 312 I have, to be honest. But same thing. And actually, a Hulk 340 with a MG insert, I do not have. I have newsstand variants, but I have yet to find a MJ variant of that book. But I'm on the hunt. I will find one eventually. Oh, yes, I will find one. And if you have an idea, not that direct quote, but if you can remember what movie character said that kind of comments in a movie, if you can tell me the name of the actor and the name of the movie, and I'll even do the direct quote. Oh, yes, it will be mine. Put it in the comments section. All right, so this is the next one. This isn't one of these that I got that I didn't even know would be a certain way, which I'm sure me saying that is very helpful to you right now to even have an idea of what I'm talking about. But I'll show that momentarily. Let's see, sure, but generally speaking, it's the same premise. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're talking about. I would love to get a Hulk 340 MJ variant. Those of you who may not have seen the video I did the other day, I happened to acquire this Amazing Spider-Man number 129, 5.0, Mark Julis variant, and it's going to be hard to see in this bag. The whole bottom corner from the circle area down is a wrinkled mess that is non-color breaking creases, which means this book, when pressed, could get a 6.5 grade. So I am looking forward to sending that in. Now, I won't be doing it until next year, in the first month in January, because I'm going to be doing my top, I guess, 30 or 50 or whatever books for 2025. And if I send it now, it won't come back in time. So I'm going to hold off. But that will be graded. All right. So this one I'm really excited about. And they were nice enough to put it in a Mylar. So, way to go the extra mile for the seller. The other seller put it in a really old bag and board that I'll have to change, but this one looks a nice. It's a very nice. They taped it to a backing board, and then we'll go into what price you would have paid for this book. So we have Batman 357, which is the first full appearance, I believe, of the Croc. I forget his name. What a Croc, I don't remember. I'm more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan. So if anybody can, what his name is, I know it's the Croc something, but let's go with it, ladies and gentlemen. It is a newsstand variant. Let's see how smart you guys are in knowing the first appearance of this. Let's get into it. This is another. It's got a small little stain, but that can be cleaned. It's got some wrinkles, but do not break color. But ladies and gentlemen, I've never owned one of these before. Mark Jewelers variant of Batman 357. So another MJ variant. Now this is a more expensive book because it does have a major first, well, not a major first appearance, but I'd like to see now. Now I can tell you right now, I did not get this for 50 bucks or under 100 because this book alone without the Mark Julius variant is going to be pretty expensive. I would say this is easily, after pressing and dry cleaning, 7.5 to 8.5 range. So let's see what you guys would have paid for this book. So if you want to look it up, I'm writing down the price so I never forget. It's Killer Croc, that's what it is. So this is Batman 357, first appearance of Killer Croc. See, I actually remembered. No one had to tell me. But this is not only a newsstand variant, it is a Mark Julius variant, which I showed you guys. And always make sure if you buy a book like a Mark Julius variant or something like, for example, Hulk 181, make sure it has the Marvel value stamp. Don't assume, even if somebody shows you a picture, that it's there. Because I gave a horror story I share with people that years ago I bought one of my Hulk 180s, and the seller on eBay, showed a picture of the Marvel value stamp. And when I got it, I made sure I double checked, and it was cut out. So that person put a fake image of a Marvel value stamp in the comic that was not in that comic. So never assume. So Silver Age Surfer is trying to go a little bit lower, says he would have paid $188 for this book. So if anybody else wants to put in what they would have paid. So this is the first appearance of Killer Croc. Again, only about 5 to 7% of this print run is a Mark Julius variant. So this is a higher grade book. Now, this is an older book. I would say probably around 83, somewhere around there, 83 to 85. So if anybody wants to look that up, let me know, because I'm going based on the 60 cent. So I would say that's probably between 1980 and 85, somewhere in that general area. So higher grade, like I said, between a 7.5 and 8.5. I think it's probably going to be around an 8.0 after it's all said and done. Because you can see, especially with the book, there are no spine ticks. Trying to cut out the glare. I think there's a little right at the edge there. You could see that line. But you could get an 8.5 with that. There is a little bit of a tiny dot of a stain on the back, but it looks like it could be removed. So I paid for this book with shipping and handling and with taxes $141.25 for this book. Again, another book that's going to be graded when all is said and done. So if you can find this book, especially in a Mark Jewelers, grab it. Because like I said, those are rarer books. I see other channels all the time talking about, certain books, oh, they're not rare. Well, when you get into things like Mark Jewelers, then they are rarer. So those are the books to try and acquire, especially if you can find the deals. All right, last but not least, I was shocked at the price I got this one for. I am looking forward to showing you this. Again, not a major key book or anything like that. It's not an Amazing Spider-Man 129 or anything, but I'll take it. And by the way, if people want to critique, and I'll show really quick, if you want to critique the AI art, either positive or negative, I want to keep everything Halloween themed for the past few days. You can let me know in the comment section if you liked it, disliked it. If you liked it or disliked it, tell me why. Fill in the blanks and let people know. And also, again, shout out to my Patreon members. And if you want to support me on Patreon, it's patreon.com/We Love Comics. You'll get your name up on that board, like Silver Age Surfer _comics, and have early access to all of my videos, my auctions. All right. This looks like they also put it in a Mylar. Appreciate that. Okay, I was wondering because I thought they taped it on the bottom. It was taped before a studio audience. I got this one for a buy it now best offer. And I was actually shocked that they accepted my offer. I want to see what price you guys would have paid for this book. If you saw it for a buy it now best offer, what offer would you have made? So, last book for the trifecta. We had Amazing Spider-Man number 301. So, it is when he returns to his regular suit. Because remember, in 300, he had the Venom suit, but he loses the Venom suit in the end. Newsstand variant. And say it with me because you can see the pattern here. I, again, was shocked. Now, this one does have some color break increases. So this is probably, I would say, a 5.0 to a 5.5. Still respectable for this book. It is a Mark Jewelers variant. I like how they had different colored ones. I actually think the first one I showed, where it was black in the background, looks so much better. It makes the jewelry stand out. But they have purple, blue, red, orange. What color would you prefer? I think they also have yellow. So this is another iconic Todd McFarlane cover. Like I said, about a 5.0 to a 5.5 grade. Mark Jewelers variant, newsstand. Not an easy book to acquire. If you saw this for a buy it now best offer, what price would you have made the offer for? Put it in the live chat or in the comic or the comments section while I write down the price. There we go. All right, so people don't have to wait too much longer. I paid with shipping and handling and taxes for Amazing Spider-Man 301 Silver Age Surfer, and thank you for being the only one that placed what they would pay for books. I appreciate that. He said he would pay $212. You got some interesting numbers that you're saying that you would offer. So he would have paid up to $212. I'm assuming that's with shipping and handling and taxes. So that means he probably would have offered like 200. I got this book not for 200, not for 150, not for 100. I got this and it was a buy it now best offer. All in $80.27. So under $100 for Amazing Spider-Man 301. It is an iconic cover because it is a direct copy of Amazing Spider-Man 300, just when he came back to his classic red and blue costume. Newsstand variant, Mark Jeweler's insert, 5 to 7% of a total print run for $80.27. Silver Age Surfer says, a while back I purchased a high grade Amazing Spider-Man 301 MJ. Nice. What'd you pay for it? This is a great book, and especially when you have Secret Wars coming, and the rumors are that Peter Parker is going to get the black suit, the Venom suit. Whether it happens or not, we'll see when and if the movie comes out. And eventually, obviously, he won't have the black suit forever, and he'll go back to the classic, which means for a time, Amazing Spider-Man 300 and other books like it with Venom are going to increase. But when he goes back to his original suit eventually, this book should rise a little bit more. But that's what I mean about finding deals and making deals happen. Because if you can get them for decent prices, you can turn around and sell them, make a profit, buy other books, and upgrade your collection without spending any of your own money. So the deals are out there. So these are the three books: Amazing Spider Man issue 301, Mark Julas variant, $80.27. We also got Batman 357, First Killer Croc. Newsstand, Mark Julas variant, $141.25. And then last but not least, Amazing Spider-Man 312. Love this cover, very colorful. One of Todd McFarlane's better covers, in my opinion. Again, newsstand, Mark Julas variant for only $44.93. So, those are the books. I would love to hear your opinions. Which one of those did you think was the best comic? What would you have paid for all three? And do you think I got good deals on these books? Just to let you know, like I say, I do it to get you guys to understand the deals are out there, whether they are auctions that are ending or there's best offers, buy it nows. They are out there. Um, the highest grade of Amazing Spider-Man 301 MJ on the census is an 8.5. I think mine might tie or beat it. Well, nice. You should get that graded if you can. Congratulations on that. And that shows that the Mark Julas variants are very hard to get in high grade. So the fact that an 8.5 is the highest on the census, because especially with that book, it's got a lot of white in the cover. Any book that has either a lot of white or a lot of black in it are going to show a lot of the spine ticks example. And the thing about Amazing Spider-Man 301, it's got a white front cover and a black back cover. So it's a double-edged sword and going to show every nook and cranny. So even with me with a 5.0 to a 5.5 on this grade, still happy with the price I paid for it. But yeah, that's why I say, a regular issue of Amazing Spider-Man 301 is not rare. But if you could find a newsstand variant, that's much rarer. And if you could find an MJ newsstand variant, that's the rarest of the rare of that book. Unless some of them have like Canadian variants, sometimes you can find those. But yeah, deals are out there. You just got to find them and make it happen. So I'm going to put Silver Age Surfer underscore comics. Since you were the one that commented more than anyone, I'm going to give you the surprise subscriber shout out today, but a special shout out to everybody that leaves comments. So everybody out there that was participating, even if it's just to say hello, you're all winners in my book. So I want to thank you so much. Uh, yeah, I understood what you said, Silver, because he says highest with an MJ insert, not the highest overall. Yeah, I I knew that's what you meant, but I'm glad you elaborated that just in case somebody else might have misunderstood. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully, you enjoyed my little video for Halloween. Shout out to my paid Patreon members. Again, you can support me at patreon.com/we love comics. 95% of the proceeds go to helping all the stray animals that I take care of, whether it's food, water, shelters, vet bills, vet medicines, flea medications, and things like that. Your contributions greatly appreciated, and they are for a good cause. So thank you to anybody that's kind enough, regardless of the amount, even if it's a one-time thing, it is always appreciated. And thank you to everybody that participated. GT Key Comic, another one of my moderators, is in the house. Let me know your opinion of these books. Let me know what what your favorite was, if you would have paid these prices, what you would have paid before you knew what the prices were, and leave it in the comment section once this video uploads. I get maybe 2 or 3 comments once a video uploads. I'll respond to each and every one. So if you want to make my day, then leave a comment after the beep. So thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy your Halloween. Have a safe and happy one. And don't forget, it's not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics. Let's end the poll. And like it says in South Park, and it's gone. So it actually doesn't even bother to. Oh, okay, there it is. Will you be dressing up today? We had 7 votes. 71% of you said no, and 29% of you said yes. So anybody that said yes, put in the comments section, what will you be wearing for the holiday festive day? And will you be going out? Will you be trick-or-treating? Or will you be just staying at home and watching movies with some loved ones or some friends? Thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe tonight. I'll see you next video. Don't forget, it's not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics, no matter what day it is. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. And don't forget to have your trolls or goblins or zombies spayed